time we meet, everything is sweet. Ooh, you're so tender, I must surrender. My love is your love now and forever. You're the one that I long to kiss. Baby, you're the one that I really miss. You're the one that I'm dreaming of. Baby, you're the one that I love. Keep me in your heart, never let us part. Ooh, never leave me, please don't deceive me. I want you only, you must believe me. You're the one that I long to kiss. Baby, you're the one that I really miss. You're the one that I'm dreaming of. Baby, you're the one that I love. I adore you, and no one before you could make me feel this.
I got there in part because of the headmaster at the school I was at, Montclair Academy, a gentleman named Henry Poor. And Henry was a fairly prominent graduate of Amherst. So that got my interest in part because I thought I might have an edge of getting in because of Henry Poor's connection to Amherst. But the funny part of the story was my father never went to college. My father was instead in politics. And when my father graduated from high school, he was a very good baseball player in high school back in about 1918 he graduated. They asked him, Frank, where are you going to college? And he wasn't going to go to college, but he said, I'm going to go to Amherst because Amherst had a good baseball team at the time. And so his yearbook says he's going to Amherst, and he never got within, 200 miles of Amherst, or however far Boston was from Amherst.
He deceived her so well.
If you ask me what my fondest memories are of Amherst, I would say my eureka experiences, my experiences of discovery. And they, by and large, happened in my freshman year. When I graduated from high school, and I don't know how you were, but I would finish each year, and I was a pretty good student, and I would say, what is this all about? There's no point to this. And really, the point of my education, sort of the epistemological questions,
And if I try, I know she'd say I lie.
really weren't addressed until I got to Amherst. At the end of our freshman year, we had to write a paper on why the sun was the center of a heliocentric system in physics. What the hell kind of question is that? But I was giving it some thought, and I sat down with Malcolm Young. You remember Malcolm Young? Malcolm was on the third floor of Morrow with me. And we began to have a discussion. Now, if you ask Malcolm the same question, he's not going to remember producing this eureka experience in me. I started to make the connections that here, how do I know the sun is the center of a heliocentric system? And the answer is, I really don't know whether the sun is the center of a heliocentric system. It is simply a model of description. And the model is only as good as it is elegant. Knowledge is not answers, knowledge is questions. I played football in high school, but I knew Amherst had a good football team, and that was just sort of an invitation to suicide. So I played soccer. I had never played soccer in my life. I got into a couple of games. I was a second team goalie, made a good save against Wesleyan after we were ahead 6-2, where I wouldn't have been in the game. Sports were good, but it was too much, and as I said, I went out to pasture and spent more time studying and had a good time, had good roommates. My roommates were Gil Lipschitz, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago. Incidentally, I had lunch with his son. His son read my obituary for Gil in the Amherst magazine, and he called me and said, "I'm going to be in Baltimore. I'd love to meet with you so you can tell me about my dad." And then I had Laurie Alberts. Laurie was great in a different way. I've become a foodie later in life. I attribute much of that to Laurie. His mother was food editor. He knew quite a bit about food, and he kind of organized our dinner parties down in the social dorms, and so we ate well. Well, my choice while I was at Amherst was, do I apply to graduate school? And my thought was I was either going to go to graduate school in history, or I was going to go to law school, or teach, perhaps. And teaching won out because I really didn't want to get drafted and go overseas. And so I taught for 5 years and very much enjoyed teaching and still do. Number 1, September 14th, my birthday. I told Jack I was good at winning lotteries, at least for rooms at Amherst, and I ended up winning the lottery for the draft. But I never got called. I came from a cannon fodder district, I think, in New Jersey, Hoboken, and they never called me, or I did get called for a physical, and I never showed up, and they're looking for me right now, so I'm a little concerned about this revelation. Then moved on to a larger firm with a larger estate practice, and again moved once again to a third firm. That's where I am now, about to celebrate my 71st birthday tomorrow, and contemplating retirement in somewhat of the near future. I have twinkled in my lifetime, even if I'm not Archibald MacLeish or some other, great graduates of Amherst. And I think I've made other people's lives twinkle as well. My enduring gratitude to Amherst College, even if Lord Jeff has been sent to the showers. Now, are you at all concerned? Because I'm bringing a flashlight with batteries to the reunion. Because the song ends, what? Oh, Amherst, brave Amherst, was a name known to fame in days of yore, may it ever be glorious, until the sun shall climb the heavens no more. Will the sun be shining when we get to Amherst now that Lord Jeff is on prisoner protection someplace?
Every time we meet, everything is sweet.